Welcome, college football fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report and the College Football Report with Eric and Ryan Robinson every Friday afternoon, previewing the weekend with our predictions of the local games and the top games around the country. Earlier today, we released our IU Kennesaw State preview with Grant Schaus and Mike Hutzel, and our Purdue Southern Illinois football preview with our new Purdue contributor, Jake Dunn. Then late Saturday, I'll be joined by one or more of Eric, Ryan, Michelle Garman, Jake, Grant, and Mike Hutzel, all of our college football contributors, and we will release that podcast on Sunday morning. And we got so much going on. Fever, high school football, Major League Baseball is heating up. If Central Indiana sports fans are talking about it, Central Indiana Sports Report is talking about it. Please consider subscribing right this very moment.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, college football fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report and the College Football Report with Eric and Ryan Robinson. Here today to talk some college football. We're going to review week one. We're going to look ahead to week two, and we're going to make picks for the most important games of the weekend to us and around the country. Before I get to that, guys, I want to go through the standings for our Central Indiana Sports Report Media Picks competition, and you guys did pretty well the first week. Tied for 24th is our Pacers Report guy, Mike Rich, Jay Stevens of the Kokomo Post, Kevin Helfrich of the Action Sports Network. With 25 is Zach Carter of Keon Sports. Michelle Garman and Sam Frick have 26. Jeremy Giggy of White River Broadcasting, 27. Grant Schaus of the Action Sports Network, and our IU guy, has 29. Ryan Robinson, you are currently in 7th place with 30. Daniel Bragg of Bragg Sports Media, 31. Will Rutherford has 35. Tied with Cody Emerson of the Greencastle Banner Graphic. I am tied for 2nd place with Cade Hampton of the Muncie Star Press with 37. And Eric Robinson was the man of the week. 42 points, Eric.
What's
you
up?
Got more than
What's
anybody.
up? That's what I'm talking about. That's why you call me the expert.
That's right. The only thing Eric missed was Clemson, Oregon State lost to Cal, and, of course, the Notre Dame game. He got every other game right for 42 points, and he has a 5-point lead. Well done, Eric. And now we are going to talk about last week, because we have not talked to Eric and Ryan since the Notre Dame loss. And I'll start with you, Ryan. How disappointing of a start was it, and how big of a deal is it?
Well, potentially it could be a big deal, but we won't know that till though each week plays out. But as far as a disappointment, it was a huge disappointment, because I just felt the whole game plan was so conservative, and they didn't really put the foot on the gas at all during that game until it was too late. And CJ made a great comeback there in the fourth quarter, scrambling with his legs and whatnot, but we never went downfield the entire game. How can you have a receiver in Greathouse and Faison not be targeted? Greathouse, I don't think, was targeted at all. Faison was targeted twice, and they were just quick screens right at the line of scrimmage. I think they ran that same play 4 times, 2 times apiece on each side of the line of scrimmage. So eventually the last time they ran it bit them, and they got the interception, Miami did. But it was a hard game to watch. You got Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price getting 16 touches when you got a soggy field, and the run game could have made the difference. But credit Miami's upfront defense. We weren't able to push them off the line and really get a running game established.
Disappointed, of course. I don't understand how we don't go in there and try to get the run game going. I thought up front, our offensive line was garbage. They were coming into the game, they were the talk of how good the offensive line was going to be. I thought they were a disappointment, and a lot of times, to me, they seemed confused. It didn't look like a team that was prepared or coached well going into week one. So I'm disappointed, but I don't think it's a big deal because you come back and you beat Texas A&M. You're 1-1 with the loss to the number 4 team in the nation. Last year we were 1-1 with the loss to Northern Illinois. So it's not the end of the world. I think we're going to find out Miami is really good. Maybe we didn't get. They're really good up front. They dominated defensive line and offensive line. I thought they did whatever they wanted. That was surprising.
Their receivers just really made plays. Miami's receivers were very impressive.
And maybe we underestimated the ACC. Florida State looked fantastic. Clemson, obviously, they'll bounce back from that loss against LSU, and then Miami looked really good Sunday night. So maybe we underestimated the ACC this year.
We'll be talking about a couple of ACC teams coming up here. Eric, is it good to have a week off this week, or would you prefer to be playing?
I'd rather see them play. That loss can linger for 2 weeks. I'd rather it just be over with in 2 days and go ahead and get into the game prep for week 2. But I'm not overly concerned with it. I think we're going to find out Miami's really good. Notre Dame's really good. You come back and you don't show up and you're not prepared for A&M, and you're staring down 0-2. Now you're in trouble.
But if they did start 0-2 and win 10 games in a row, they're probably getting in the playoffs.
Probably because they're Notre Dame, but I don't think they should.
I think a 2-loss Notre Dame team gets left out. In my opinion, I think they'll just gang up on a 2-loss Notre Dame more than they're going to gang up on a 2-loss Ohio State or 2-loss Texas or LSU, just for the fact they're not in a conference. And their 2 losses could be against number 4 Miami, and I'm not sure what A&M is this week, but they're top 15 if I remember right.
That's my point. And if they win the next 10, that means they'll beat some pretty good teams, and you would think we give them a pretty good shot. It doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about that until it happens. But I said before the season, they might be 10-2, and those might be the 2 losses.
Yeah, let's hope they bounce back and look a little bit more prepared against A&M than what they looked Sunday night against Miami, because that's when Eric said the word prepared. I guess that probably sums it up most for me. It did not look like they were prepared for that game, and they had the entire fall to get ready for that night, and it just looked like it wasn't very organized.
Let's move on to IU. I haven't gotten your thoughts on their win. Thoughts on the Hoosiers before we get to our picks?
I'm gonna continue to lean a little bit against IU. I'm still a little upset over the scheduling thing. We're not going to beat that dead horse. But IU's going to have to really impress me, and a 13-point win or whatever ended up being over Old Dominion isn't going to do it for me. I'm still showing a little hate on IU. And who they got this week? Kennesaw State.
That's right.
I think we've already talked about IU enough right now. I mean, play somebody and we'll talk.
I think I was kind of surprised at the way Old Dominion was able to put pressure on Mendoza in the backfield. They had him scrambling several times, and the score could have been a little bit different had the receiver from IU caught the wide open pass. I mean, Mendoza put it right in the breadbasket, and he dropped it. So hard telling what would have happened at that point in the game had they scored that touchdown. It could have gotten away from him, but I was surprised it was that close. I'm not sure what the spread was. I know what it is this week against Kennesaw State. It's 35.5. And I'm thinking the Old Dominion spread was similar to that, maybe more. We'll see what they do this week, bouncing back. I'm sure Cignetti's going to make some adjustments, and we'll see what happens against Kennesaw State.
All right, let's get to our picks. Each game is worth 10 points. One of the teams is worth a certain amount. The underdog will be worth more than the favorite. It's to tempt you to take an upset. Here we go. We're going to start with the Hoosiers. Kennesaw State is worth 9 points. Indiana is worth 1. Either of you think that the Hoosiers could suffer an upset?
IU, no way they get beat. Slam dunk IU.
I'm also going to go with IU. I mentioned just moments ago the spread 35.5. I think IU is going to cover that. But keep in mind, Kennesaw State, they're 0-1, but they almost pulled off an upset at Wake Forest. They ended up getting beat 10-9. Wake scored late with less than a minute to go to win that game. But I think IU bounces back from kind of an ugly performance against Old Dominion, and I look for them to get Elijah Surratt going early in that game and get him established in the passing game. So IU.
I don't think it'll be more than 35 points, but it'll be IU. Ball State is worth 9 points there to Auburn, number 1. I don't think much needs to be said.
Well, I would love to go with Ball State just to go against Auburn, just for you, Greg. But yeah, you got to take Auburn.
Yeah, War Eagle in this one. There's no way this will be even close. Auburn comes out with the win. Kudos to Ball State. I know a couple years ago, Ball State started 0-2 in the SEC when they went to Kentucky and to Georgia. So you got to give Ball State credit for scheduling these games. It does huge benefit for the athletic department. I know that Georgia game, the school got over $1 million for that game. Chances of winning are slim and none, but what it does is it helps the school keep programs open. So this is going to be a slaughter, and it's going to be Auburn.
I'll agree on that one. Southern Illinois is worth 9 at Purdue, which is worth 1. I said Purdue's going to win 4 games. You guys agree with me yet?
I do not. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to take Southern Illinois in this one, Greg.
Whoa. You only lose 1 point if you're wrong, so it's worth it.
Yep.
I got Purdue in this game. They're going to move to 2-0. Their over/under was 2.5, and I picked the over to start the season, so they're almost there in the first 2 weeks, and I look for, Ryan Brown to go over 300 yards again passing for Purdue.
I am taking Purdue as well, and it will be an easy win. Iowa's worth 6 points at Iowa State, worth 4.
I'm going to take Iowa State. I think we maybe have missed the boat on this Cyclone team. They're 2-0. I know we were high on K-State in that Big 12, but watch out for Iowa State. I got them this week.
I also have Iowa State in this game. I just think they're the better team. They're gonna go to 3-0. Iowa last week played Albany, and they had 48 yards passing. I know rushing is their forte, but I think they had close to 300 yards on the ground, but I don't think that recipe is gonna work against Iowa State, so I got the Cyclones.
Here's a big one, guys. Illinois at Duke. I have Illinois is worth 4 points. Duke is worth 6. Eric, who you got?
I'm sticking with the Illinois pick I made on competing for that Big Ten title. I like that team. I'm taking Illinois every week until they play Ohio State or Penn State. Then I'll have to do some research, but I got Illinois.
Well, it's not very fancy or sexy with me and Eric agreeing on everything but one game so far, but I'm also going to go with Illinois. I think it's going to be too much Altmaier at quarterback. The spread's 2.5, so I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Illini come out with a win.
I'm taking Duke. I just can't take Illinois seriously. I have an inability to take Illinois seriously. It's like anytime anyone brings up Ole Miss, I think of them the same way. Next time Ole Miss wins something, will be the first time. And speaking of Ole Miss, they are at Kentucky. Ole Miss worth 3, Kentucky worth 7. Eric,
I think this is going to be a close game, but I don't know why I do this every week with this team. I'm picking Ole Miss, and I'll continue to do it, and I'll let it bite me in the butt like 4 or 5 times. I fall for it every time. Give me Lane Kiffin.
yeah,
I hate to say give me Lane Kiffin, but I don't think Kentucky's got the team to compete in this game. I think it's going to be a pretty lopsided win for Ole Miss.
anybody want to guess who I have?
You got Kentucky, no doubt
I
about
got
it.
Kentucky. I'll take Kentucky at home. They always compete at home. Baylor is at SMU in a in-state contest. Baylor is worth 7 points. SMU worth 3. I'm just going to tell you, I'm taking SMU. I like this team again. Eric,
They were disappointing in the loss to Auburn. I don't think they can play with SMU.
I'm going with the Baylor Bears. They come
Ooh,
in losing that first game in a close contest with Auburn. I think they can go in and upset SMU. If you guys followed the game last week, SMU played East Texas A&M. They had 2 pick sixes. Otherwise, that was a 28-13 ball game. So I think Baylor's going to go in there and sneak one out.
I could see it happening for sure. Michigan goes to Oklahoma. I have Michigan worth 4 points, Oklahoma worth 6. Eric, who you got?
Taking Oklahoma. I'm not impressed with the quarterback play yet with Michigan.
Yet.
I like him. I know that, hey, there's huge potential there. But I like Oklahoma at home.
I also picked Oklahoma. I just think it's going to be too much offense against Michigan. I know Underwood's probably going to have a decent game, but that's a pretty tough environment to go in as a true freshman. I think Oklahoma holds on in a close game and wins.
I'm going to take Michigan, but my pick of Michigan to win the Big Ten looks stupid after 1 week. Stupid. Not just because Michigan didn't look very good, but because the others did. Arizona State worth 4 at Mississippi State worth 6. Either of you willing to take the Bulldogs?
I am not. This game will be a blowout. Arizona State.
I got Arizona State too. It's going to be too much Sam Levitt. This will be over early.
I disagree with you guys that it's going to be a blowout, but I'm definitely taking Arizona State. Boston College worth 6 at Michigan State worth 4. The Spartans did not look good last week.
Program, man, they have really fallen. Give me Boston College on the road.
I also picked Boston College, even though Michigan State's a 5.5-point favorite in this. I just think it's going to be too much. Dylan Lonergan at quarterback for Boston College. They go on the road and beat the Michigan State team that I said would be the most disappointing in the Big Ten this year.
And our final game is a bonus game every week. Winkers Wright doesn't look like he's going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. He did have 50 yards in the first half against Oklahoma, which is a pretty good outing, but they suffered the shutout loss. You guys, you're not going to pick against the Redbirds, are you?
I would love to, just for ratings. Yeah, we'll take Winkers in that home opener.
I'm going Winkers Wright over 100 yards on the ground and a big win for Illinois State.
And the Redbirds are ranked 7th in the nation, by the way, in FCS, and I think they're 5th in the conference. So that conference is ridiculously good.
This is the first conference game, though, in the MVC.
It is indeed the conference opener. Got to get this one. Thanks so much, guys. It was a lot of fun. I think the Irish are going to lose to Texas A&M and still get in the playoffs. That was my prediction in the preseason. I like it. It's absurd, and I like it.
Well, if that gets them in the college football playoff, I'll go along with you.
If you are still listening, you either zoned out or you like the podcast. If you did like the podcast and appreciate what we're doing, please help us spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here talking about sports that Central Indiana sports fans care about every single day. Appreciate it. Football's back, people.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.